Before you close this video, I want you to answer one question. If your investment portfolio looked almost exactly the same a year from now, would you keep investing? Most people wouldn't. They'd assume something is broken. They'd start chasing faster returns, jump into risky investments, or stop investing altogether. But here's what almost nobody tells you. The years that feel like nothing is happening are often the years that determine whether you'll eventually become wealthy. In this video, I'll show you why your money may already be working harder than you realize, why the first few years of investing almost always feel disappointing, and why the people who stay through this invisible stage are usually the ones who experience the life-changing results everyone else thinks happened overnight. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a flat portfolio the same way again. If you're staring at your investment account right now and the number looks almost exactly the same as it did a year ago, I want you to know something. What you're feeling is not failure. It's the most predictable, most well-documented, most statistically normal phase of investing that exists. It even has a name. Investors call it the boring middle. And today I'm not going to give you motivational quotes. I'm going to show you real compounding curves, real numbers, real math that explains why the first 1 to 3 years feel like nothing is happening, even though the most important part of the entire process is happening right now. Let's start with a simple fact that almost nobody explains to new investors. Compound interest is not a straight line. It's a curve that stays almost flat for a long time, and then suddenly bends upward. The problem is the human brain expects a straight line. We're used to the idea that if we keep doing something consistently, the result grows consistently too. But money doesn't work that way. Money grows exponentially, and an exponential curve at the very beginning looks exactly like a flat line that barely moves. Let's take a concrete example. Imagine you invest $10,000 as a lump sum at the average historical stock market return, which has been around 10% per year before inflation over the last century. After 1 year, you have $11,000. The difference is $1,000. That sounds fine, but in practice, that's less than what a lot of people spend on coffee in a year. After 2 years, 12,100. After 3 years, 13,300. On paper, that looks modest. And this is exactly the phase most people watching this video are in right now. 1, 2, 3 years in, and it feels like the effort isn't paying off. Now let's look at what happens if you don't stop. The same $10,000 at the same average return turns into roughly $26,000 after 10 years, $67,000 after 20 years, $174,000 after 30 years. Look closely at the shape of that growth. The first 10 years added $16,000. The last 10 years, from year 20 to year 30, added more than $70,000. Same length of time, same return rate, same starting capital, completely different result in dollars. That's the invisible work we're talking about. In the early years, the percentage is being calculated on a small base, so the dollar gain is small. But the mechanism itself is already working at full strength from day one. You just can't see it yet because the base hasn't grown large enough for the percentage to become visually obvious. There's an important mathematical detail worth explaining clearly here. Compound growth follows an exponential function, and a key feature of any exponential curve is that over a short stretch, it's nearly indistinguishable from a straight line that's moving slowly upward. Only when you look at a long enough time horizon does the actual curve become visible. This means the first few years of investing are literally the segment of the graph where the exponential disguises itself as a flat line. You're not failing to see the curve because it isn't there. You're failing to see it because you're still too close to the starting point. Now let's add another layer that makes this even more powerful: regular contributions. Most people who've been investing for 1 to 3 years aren't sitting on a lump sum and waiting. They're adding part of their income every month. And here, a second invisible mechanism kicks in called dollar cost averaging. When you invest the same amount every month in months when the market drops, you automatically buy more shares for the same money. In months when the market rises, you buy fewer. Mathematically, this means your average purchase price over several years ends up lower than if you'd tried to guess the perfect moment to invest. Studies comparing regular contribution strategies against trying to time a single lump sum investment consistently show that for the vast majority of people, regular contributions perform just as well and often better, simply because discipline beats prediction. Let's talk honestly about why the early years feel especially hard psychologically, not just mathematically. When you invest money, your brain registers it as a loss. You see less money in your checking account right now, and that feels concrete and painful. The growth in your investment account is an abstract number on a screen, one that also bounces up and down week to week. Behavioral economists who've studied the asymmetry between how we perceive gains and losses have found that the psychological weight of a loss is roughly twice as strong as the psychological weight of an equivalent gain. Losing $100 hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the same $100 feels good. That means in the early years, when the absolute amounts are small but the market's percentage swings feel relatively large, your brain will systematically overestimate the risk and underestimate the progress. That's not a character flaw, it's a basic wiring of the human mind that existed long before stock markets did. Let's look at how markets have actually behaved historically to understand how normal early drawdowns really are. If you take almost any 10-year stretch of the broad stock market over the last century, nearly every single one includes years with drops of 20, 30, sometimes 40%. And in nearly every case, the market eventually recovered and went on to new highs. The problem is, while you're inside a downturn, you don't know it's one of those episodes that will be followed by a recovery. You only know that in hindsight, looking back at the chart. Investors who've lived through several of these cycles tend to describe it the same way. The first drop scares you the most because it's the first time you understand what it actually feels like to be inside uncertainty with no guarantees. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside your portfolio right now, even if the number on the screen looks almost unchanged. First, every dividend paid by a company in your portfolio, if you reinvest it, buys additional shares. Those additional shares then start generating their own dividends next time around. That's the exact same mechanism as interest on interest, just running through company shares instead of a bank account. Second, even without dividends, the capital you've invested in growing businesses is participating in the growth of those companies' revenue, profit, and value from the very first day it's invested. The fact that the share price fluctuates week to week and month to month doesn't cancel out the fact that the business underneath keeps selling products, hiring people, opening new markets. The price on the exchange is only what's visible from the outside. The real economic work happening inside the company is the invisible work that, quote, actually refers to. Every dollar doing quiet, invisible work. Here's another example that often shocks people the first time they see it. Compare an investor who starts putting in $200 a month at age 25 and stops at 35 with an investor who starts at 35 and keeps contributing the same amount all the way to 65. The first investor, despite contributing roughly 6 times less money in total, ends up with a final balance that's larger or comparable to the second investor's in the vast majority of historical return scenarios. The difference isn't discipline, it isn't the size of the contributions, it isn't stock picking skill. The difference is purely time spent inside the market. This is the cleanest illustration that compound math doesn't reward the person who invests the most. It rewards the person who invests the longest. Now, let's be precise about what the term boring middle actually describes in terms of how the graph behaves. If you take any compound growth curve and look at it in full, from 0 all the way to a 30 or 40-year horizon, the first 10 to 15 years take up a massive portion of the horizontal axis, but a very small portion of the vertical gain. That's the boring middle, a stretch where a lot of time has passed, but very little visible result has shown up yet. Psychologically, this is the hardest part of the entire journey because the initial excitement is worn off, but the reward hasn't arrived yet. This is exactly the stage where most people quit, pull their money into cash, start chasing faster schemes, or simply burn out emotionally and stop contributing. And that's precisely why most people never reach the part of the curve where compounding finally becomes visible. Studies on investor behavior, particularly annual analyses comparing the actual returns individual investors realize against the returns of the very index they invested in, consistently show the same gap. The average individual investor earns a return noticeably lower than the index they technically own. The cause is almost always the same, not bad assets, but bad behavior, pulling out during downturns and getting back in only after most of the recovery has already happened. In other words, the biggest threat to your capital isn't the market, it's your own reaction to a temporary lack of visible progress. If you're sitting at the 1, 2, or 3 year mark right now, here's what the math actually shows. You are not at zero. You've already gotten through the hardest psychological part, the decision to start in the first place. Your capital has already entered the exact same exponential process that 10 or 15 years from now will become obvious to the naked eye. The fact that you can't see the difference right now doesn't mean the difference isn't there. It means you're looking at the very beginning of the curve, the part that hasn't pulled away from the flat line yet. So, what should you actually do to get through the boring middle instead of dropping out of it? First, stop checking your portfolio every day, or even every week. Daily fluctuations are noise. They carry no information about your long term outcome, but they're one of the most powerful sources of emotional exhaustion. Second, automate your contributions so the decision to invest gets made once, not redecided every month based on mood or headlines. Third, track your progress in shares or units purchased, or in months of consecutive contributions instead of dollar value. Those numbers move steadily and only upward, unlike market value, and they give your brain tangible proof of forward motion, even when the price is standing still. Fourth, write yourself a note or reminder now, while you're calm, that a 20 to 30% drop is a normal, statistically expected event, not a sign that something has gone wrong. I want to close by going back to the line that started this whole conversation. Every dollar is doing quiet, invisible work. That's not a motivational metaphor. It's a literal description of a mathematical process happening inside your portfolio right now while you're watching this video. Every reinvested dividend buys another piece of a business. Every piece of that business starts working toward generating the next dividend. Every month you stay invested adds another cycle to a curve that looks flat at the start and looks like a miracle 10 or 20 years later. There won't be a miracle. There will only be the continuation of a process that's already running, even if the number on your screen today looks exactly like it did a month ago. The boring middle isn't a pause in your progress, it is your progress, just not visible yet. And the only thing required of you at this stage is to stay inside the process long enough for the curve to finally show what the math has known all along. If there's one idea I hope stays with you after this video, it's this. Wealth doesn't suddenly appear after 10 or 20 years. It is being built every single day long before you can see it. Every contribution you make, every dividend you reinvest, every month you choose patience over emotion, every time you stay invested while others panic. Those moments are the real reason long-term investors succeed. The boring middle isn't a period where nothing is happening. It's the period where almost everything is happening, just beneath the surface. One day, you'll open your portfolio and wonder how it grew so much. It won't be because of one lucky investment. It won't be because you perfectly timed the market. It will be because you stayed in the process long enough for compound growth to finally become visible. If this video changed the way you think about investing, subscribe to Wolf Accumulate. Every week, we break down timeless investing principles, wealth building strategies, and the psychology behind financial success without hype, without shortcuts, and without gambling on the next hot stock. Remember, the market rewards patience long before it rewards performance. Your money is already working. Now your job is simply to let it keep working.